Good morning, good evening, friends. Welcome to my channel, Kitab Se Ek Moti. Today, it's going to be a short video on designing our own tool that will indicate to us whether we are moving in the right direction or not. So it's called The Success Indicator by W. Clement. So first, let me talk about the book from which I'm going to read about this tool. So the book is The Success System That Never Fails, and this has been written by W. Clement. This has been published by the Napoleon Hill Foundation. So I'm just going to read a few lines about this success indicator. Now, a lot of text is present in this chapter to clarify this subject. So I'm not going to read the entire text. I think that won't be fair on my part to read the entire chapter. So for that, you will need to buy this book. You can get it from Amazon or Flipkart. I think this has been published by the Manjul Publishing House. They have published it in Hindi as well. Maybe it's available in other regional languages as well. So I'll just read the first few lines in this chapter on the success indicator, and then I'll read the last few lines so that you'll have an understanding of what it is and how you can design your own success indicator in order to know whether you are really succeeding in your life or not. So let me just read the few initial lines from this chapter. The success indicator brings success. You can't fail. I repeat, you can't fail. When you follow the instructions outlined in this chapter, it tells you what a success indicator is, how to make one, how you can use your very own, why the success indicator brings success. Now, I'll summarize this in my talk, but that's the initial part of this chapter. So, and let me just read the final few portions from this. The most potent tool you can have in the steady pursuit of success is a written record of your daily habits. Correctly kept, this record will be a mirror of every effort and every action of your day-to-day living. It will, with amazing vitality, enable you to redirect yourself. Following the principles and examples in this chapter, begin today to design your own personal success indicator. So, there are a lot of things mentioned in this chapter, so I'll just give you a brief understanding of what it is and how you can design your own success indicator. But if you want to have a more detailed understanding of this, you can buy this book and read this chapter. Now, I'll just show you what this indicator looks like. Different people have designed this indicator in different ways. So if you see this sales time recorder and social time recorder. So this is one form developed by a person for his self-improvement. And then there is one more form on which I made a video. So this is the form used by Benjamin Franklin. So you can watch my video on Benjamin Franklin and you'll understand what this success indicator looked like. So what is a success indicator? The basic idea is that there are certain indications, before one succeeds or fails. There are certain things that happen, and they happen regularly. So, for example, before I talk about examples, let me just delve a little bit on the theory of it. So, the idea behind the success indicator is that success doesn't happen overnight. Failure doesn't happen overnight. That's the basic concept. So you succeed because you habitually do the right things, and you fail because you habitually do the wrong things. That is, when you regularly do the right things, you'll succeed. When you regularly do the wrong things, you'll fail. That is the basic theory behind the success indicator. And the other thing is, before you succeed, you get some hints, from life. Or some indications, some leading indicators, as he calls it, as W. Clement calls it, or some of his colleagues or friends who have been mentioned in this chapter. They talk about some terms like leading indicators, or the Guy Singer I don't know how it's pronounced, Geisinger indicator, and so on. They have been mentioned in this chapter. But the idea is that success has some indicators, or before you succeed, you will see its indication or some hint. Similarly, before you fail, God forbid, I mean, you should not fail, but before you fail, you'll see certain hints or indications in your life. So the idea behind the success indicator is that there are two things. I mean, the two foundations or two things at the basis of this tool that you can design for yourself. One thing is that success happens. It takes time to succeed. That is, when you do certain things regularly, the right things, you'll succeed. Similarly, failure takes time. When you do the wrong things regularly, you'll fail. Of course, there are certain things that should never be done, because even one time, if they are done, they can spoil and ruin the career of many. For example, stealing. That's something that will bring immediate failure. But what I'm talking about is, the general thing is that in all areas of life, we fail because we do the wrong thing regularly, and we succeed because we do the right thing regularly. But there are certain things that if you do even once, chances are that you might fail, and it might take a long time to recover from that failure, especially the moral things. In that area, one should be very careful. But even then, we can really transform our reputation as well. I mean, some people who have failed miserably in life, even in their moral areas, have later on gone on to become great men and women. So that's fine. But it's better not to do the wrong things even once, so that, especially in the moral area. Anyhow, I think I'm digressing. So there are two things at the basis of it. One thing is success is the result of the right habits, and failure is the result of wrong habits. So there is some process that takes place before you succeed. There is some process that takes place before you fail. That's one thing. And the other thing is that before you succeed, you will be able to see some indications of success in your life. And before you fail, you will be able to see some indications of failure in your life. So what are these things? What are these indicators? So for example, if you have the right mental attitude, that's an indicator of success. If you get up early and read some literature about your profession, that's a success indicator. If you read positive books, that's a success indicator. If you set goals, that's a success indicator. If you take care of your health, that's a success indicator. If you work on your communication skills, that's a success indicator. If you attend courses and seminars related to your profession, that's an indicator. That does not mean that you will definitely succeed, but that's an indicator. But if you do these things regularly, success is kind of guaranteed in your field or profession. Similarly, failure also has indicators. Getting up late. I mean, not always, but in most cases, people who are awake at night, they remain awake far into the night, and go to sleep late at night. So they might get up late, and they usually waste their precious early hours. That's why there's a famous book also on this, I think, the 5 a.m. club, right, if I'm not mistaken. So if you go to sleep late at night, and if you get up early, then you are wasting the precious moments of the early hours where your concentration, power concentration is very high, and you'll not be able to make use of those early hours to improve yourself. Anyhow, that's one indicator. Then the other indicator is constant lying, or another indicator of failure may be not willing to improve ourselves, not attending courses related to our profession, not ensuring that our knowledge of our field is up to date, and so on. Or another indicator of failure may be not setting goals, not wanting to improve oneself, not reading books on positive thinking, having a bad attitude, and so on. So Now you understand these two things, right? One is that success is the result of some right things that you do regularly, and failure as well. If you do the wrong things regularly, you'll fail. And the other thing is that success has some indicators, and failure also has some indicators. So this is what I wanted to talk about in this video. Now let's talk about designing this tool. So it's up to you. Actually, you can customize this thing. So you basically need a piece of paper and pencil, or some, maybe you can type it into a document on your computer. But what I'm trying to say is you decide how you're going to design this success indicator. So the basic idea is that you need to start monitoring your daily activities, and you also need to be aware of what determines success in your field. So once you know what determines, what are the indicators of success in your field, then you start putting into practice certain things on a daily basis. That is, for example, if one of the success indicators in your field is that you need to maintain a positive attitude, then you need to mention in your form what you're going to do every day to develop a positive mental attitude. So for example, let's look at this form that has been given here. So for example, there is a social time recorder, right? So here, it doesn't matter how this form has been devised, but you need to have some kind of monitoring system. So the basic idea is that you come up with a form of your own. So because when you design your own form, it will be based on your needs and requirements, and you will not be blindly following someone else's ideas. So in your form, basically, you need to have a few things. For example, the day which you are measuring. The day which you are kind of monitoring, and the success indicators. What actions did you take to do certain things that can be the cause for your success, or that can result in your success, and what are the things that you should avoid doing in order to keep yourself away from failure, and so on. And the other thing is you need to also measure the usage of your time. Are you using your time usefully? What are the time wasters? For example, are you spending too much time on watching television, or too many movies, too many sports programs, and so on? So something that's not helping you in your professional career. So that way you can really monitor the usage of your time as well. But the basic idea is you need to monitor your success indicators and make sure that you do something daily in order to get closer to success, and you need to avoid certain things daily in order to keep away from failure. Thanks for watching.